Folks, Joe Biden actually performed the most expensive executive action in the history of the United States. He basically said that he was going to single-handedly relieve $500 billion in student loan debt. He's doing this because he wishes to re-enshrine an extraordinarily corrupt higher education system in the United States. So we're going to talk in 1 second about how the student loan system works, why it is spurring higher cost, why so many people are trying to encourage people who don't need to go to college to go to college. This video is sponsored by our friends over at Pure Talk. Okay, so let's talk about college enrollment. So here's a chart of college enrollment in the United States. Okay, we'll start in 1950. Okay, and we're going to do men and we're going to do women. Men are going to be the strong line and women are going to be the dotted line. I know it sounds sexist and everything. Okay, so in 1950, men, about 7.3% of American men, right here, I'll say 7.3%, okay, that's, and about 5.2% of American women had gone to college in 1950. Okay, so a very small minority of Americans had gone to college in 1950. Most jobs didn't require a college degree. In 1980, fast forward about 30 years, and now the number of American men who have gone to college is 21%, right? So it has about tripled. 20.9% of American men have now gone to college, and the number of American women who have gone to college is now moved from about 5.2% to about 13.6%. Right, that's American women. Okay, so you start to see, and these numbers are going up. Now, fast forward all the way until 2019. So you move forward another 40 years, so now we're here. Now, the number of American men who have gone to college is 35.4%. Okay, and the number of American women who have gone to college, get ready for this, is 36.6%. Okay, obviously not drawn to scale. The basic idea here is that the number of people going to college has been radically increasing. This relies on the simple fact that Americans on average earn more with a college degree than they do without a degree. So what this means is tremendous inflation in the credential market. Again, the reason you go to college is because you want a better job, right? This is true for everyone. And the reason you need a college degree to go do a better job is because everyone is going to college. So you get this vicious spiral, right? It used to be that you could be a dental lab technician or a medical equipment operator a few years ago without a college degree. That is not true anymore. Now you have to outcompete everybody else who has graduated from college for the same job. And this means colleges now have an interest in churning out as many degrees as possible because the employer demand for college graduates continues to increase. So what does this mean in terms of college cost? It means that as you have, like any supply-demand curve, right? If you have an increased demand for a product and you have a lower supply, then you're going to end up with a very high number. Here's a typical supply-demand curve, okay? Here you have price. Here you have quantity. Okay, so here you have the supply curve. Here you have the demand curve, right? As the supply goes up, the demand decreases. As the supply is down here, you have very high demand, okay? So what this means in terms of paying for college is that if you have an incredibly high demand for college degrees and less availability of the college degrees because the supply is not keeping pace, what you're gonna end up with is very high price. Well, folks, if you are worried about how Joe Biden is spending your money, well, you should be. Thanks to Biden inflation, you are now paying way more than you should for gasoline, for groceries, for literally all the things. Polls show 94% of Americans are upset or concerned about the impact of rising prices. 95% believe soaring inflation is very or somewhat serious. As a result, every business is now trying to nickel and dime you. You don't need to do that with your phone bill. I mean, you don't want Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile charging you too much money. That's silly. Pure Talk will give you talk, text, and plenty of data for just $30 a month. No price increase there. I'm a Pure Talk customer. They are incredibly reliable. I travel a lot for my job. The 5G coverage is excellent. By switching over to Pure Talk, the average family of 4 is saving $75 a month. Customers are realizing they simply don't need as much data as they thought they did, or as the big guys say you need. Plus, they make the switch from your current provider really, really easy. It can take as little as 10 minutes. It is well worth the savings. I've been using Pure Talk myself. My family uses Pure Talk as well. Right now, when you switch to Pure Talk, you pay for 1 month, and And Pure Talk will give you month 2 for free. Just go to puretalk.com, choose your plan, enter promo code BEN to get your second month for free. Again, that is puretalk.com. Choose the plan, enter promo code BEN, get second month for free, lock in talk, text, and data on America's most reliable 5G network, and get your second month for free when you make the switch. Go to puretalk.com, enter promo code BEN for the special offer. That is puretalk.com, enter promo code BEN. So, what exactly did the government decide to do? The government says, hey, we have an idea. It's now more expensive. What if we subsidize this stuff? What if we start giving people checks, Pell Grants, and cheap loans to go to college? And we're not going to do it through the private sector. See, the private sector would ask a simple question. Should you get a loan for an art history degree? Right? Am I going to get back my money if I give you a loan for an art history degree? See, here's the thing about student loans. Right? Typically, if you're going to take a loan for, say, a house, what you do is you have the house, right? And the house is the collateral. Right? And you give the collateral to the bank, and the bank is going to give you back the money for the house, right? If you don't pay back the money, the bank takes the house, right? Reverses the whole polarity. What happens with an education degree? What do they seize? There's no collateral, which means that what the bank has to do typically with an education degree is determine what your future income is going to be based on the degree and then determine whether to give you a loan. This is why it would be a lot cheaper to take a loan for, say, Harvard Law School, where your income trajectory is really high, and why it would be a lot harder to get a loan to major in finger painting over at Brown University, because you're never going to earn that money back. Okay, so what the government did, because the government is the government, is they said, people who earn a college degree, those people earn more. We need more people earning more. So everyone has to get a college degree. And we're not going to discriminate among majors. We're not going to say that you should get a subsidy to major in medicine and give that a different level of subsidy than, say, a degree in lesbian dance theory. Instead, we're just going to subsidize all of it. We're going to say everybody should go to college, pursue your dreams, live your best life, and we're going to pay for it. What does that do? That raises the prices, of course. If you already have a high price and then you set a new floor on the prices and you don't restrict the price on the upper end, you're increasing the price. Okay, this is why what you have seen in the United States is a massive increase in the price of college. What you've seen is a massive increase in the number of staff on college campuses, but not in STEM, because that's restricted. You actually have to know how to teach STEM in order to actually teach STEM, right? But what you have seen is a massive increase in majors that don't pay. You've seen a massive increase in the number of crappy for-profit colleges in cosmetology at the local level, right, who are taking those loans. You've seen an enormous number of increase in administrative staff. And all of this is being generated by the government subsidizing this crap in the first place. There's an October 27 study by Harvard Business School professors Joseph Fuller and Manjari Raymond. It found that degree inflation is undermining competitiveness. It's undermining the middle class because it's forcing people to get college degrees. There's another study that came out in the past few years from the New York Federal Reserve. And what it found is that for every dollar that was spent on federal subsidization of education, the price of education rose somewhere between 55 and 65 cents. Not a shock. When you subsidize things, the price goes up. So when Joe Biden says, let's just get rid of the debt, let's get rid of all the college debt, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the price is going to go up or is it going to go down? Are you going to be encouraging people to take more useless degrees or fewer useless degrees? Are you going to be encouraging more people to go to college, to get that degree in lesbian dance theory and pay those diversity, equity, inclusion administrators a lot of money, or fewer? This is a scam. So much of this is just an unbelievable scam. And it's driven by people who are college educated, who believe that they are the cream of the crop, who believe that somehow you're better off if you force half the population with an incentive structure to go to college and get a useless degree and incur hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and then make them dependent on government giveaways. You're re-enshrining a deeply corrupt system. You're doing so for political purposes. Joe Biden is doing this because the people who vote for him are college-educated white women, and you're saddling all the people who did pay their debts with everybody else's debt, the people who didn't pay their debts. Plus, you're also bailing out all of the predatory college lenders. And when I say predatory college lenders, I'm not just talking about the cosmetology school in the inner city. I'm also talking about Harvard University that is offering $200,000 degrees in garbage to people who don't need that degree because they're already smart and can get a job doing something actually productive in American life.